Hey, you're listening to Stop the Scroll, a social media marketing podcast, and I'm your host, Heidi Schmidt. I'm a social media strategist and agency owner with over 15 years of marketing experiences helping businesses grow online. We'll be diving into what you need to know so that you can show up confidently online without the overwhelm. Get your notebook ready to jot down some amazing marketing gems, and let's dive into it. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Stop the Scroll. I'm your host, Heidi Schmidt, social media strategist and agency owner. I was like, wait, how am I introducing myself today? So one, happy April, almost, I believe, almost April. This week is April, but I am so excited because this month, April is my favorite month. One, it's my birthday in a couple weeks. My family's going on vacation. I'm super jazzed. But April is also when I founded my business, and it's when I started my podcast. So it's all these amazing good things. And I am so excited for the next few episodes. So I'm like, yeah. But today, before, the next couple of episodes, I'm going to talk about some of my lessons in podcasting and entrepreneurship and some highlights from the past 5 years. All of those fun things that kind of like show you a little, I'm going to peel back the layers of my business and like unveil the curtains a little bit and share some really, really fun things. And I'm super jazzed. But today I wanted to, it's the end of Q1. And as always, there are some changes that have happened in social media across the past few months. So today we're kind of diving into some of the biggest social media platform updates from Q1. Okay, so we're going to start with Instagram. And Instagram, maybe it had some big changes. I don't know. They kind of changed some of the ranking factors. Adam Mosseri basically said that there are two types of reach. There is your connected reach, which is the reach that you have among your followers, and your unconnected reach, which is the kind of recommendation engine, or your non-followers. And how your content is ranked, he has said, is the watch time of your reels. That is the most important. Likes per reach and sends per reach. So you want your content to be shareable. You want it to be likable. Their kind of recommendations are avoiding recycled content with watermarks. So don't just repost your TikToks. That's just nope. Use music on everything, even for photos, even for carousels or voiceovers. Voiceovers are good too, but use music. I have found that carousels are performing a lot better if there's a little bit of music behind it. So I've been using some trending music, and make sure that, when you're checking your account status and your settings, we always want to be checking in on that, making sure that our account's in good standing, and keep creating original or value-added content. And I'm always going to be one to say repurpose. And most social media managers with tens of thousands of followers will also say, like, you don't need to only share your content once. I will say that even when I repurpose, like if I'm going to repurpose a reel, or if I'm going to use the same video, or if I'm going to use the same caption, like I'm going to change something about it. I'm going to keep it original. I'm just going to repurpose segments of it. And I've talked a lot about repurposing here. So Instagram wants content to be original. However, we also know that only about 10% of our audience sees content when we post it. So do not hesitate to repurpose the crap out of what you have. Like, just do it, especially if it's evergreen content. Like, I don't know. I say, do what works for you. Obviously, like, yes, what the powers that be at Instagram say has some value. Finally, there's a new feature in Reels called trials, and it allows you to test your content before posting it widely. I am going to be honest. I have not played around much with trial Reels. I follow a bunch of people who have. They also have followers that are like 10 times the size of my following, and they've had great success with it. So if you want to test out, here's where it comes into play. And I need to do more with trial reels because I think that it's a really valuable feature. One, it's going to do really good at getting in front of non-followers. Like, that's what it is. It's to test your content in front of non-followers to see what the engagement's like. So if you want to test out your content and make sure that your messaging is on point, then do a trial reel. And you can set it so that it goes public, goes into your followers feed after like 24 hours, but play around with it. See what works. I always recommend, like, test out those new features. 100%. In case anyone was using notes, I did see the other day that they got rid of the notes feature, which I don't think anyone's really missing it. So yeah, the big change with Facebook, because Facebook is a dumpster fire, and I say that as someone who manages many Facebook pages for my clients, but I also am not afraid to admit that I think that the people that run Facebook are kind of not the most likable humans. So, over the past 4 years, they very much leaned into fact-checking content and making it known if content was misinformation or factually accurate. As of January, February, Meta is now relying on a community-based model for fact-checking across Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. It's designed to enhance transparency and reduce bias, but quite honestly, I don't love this change. I'm not going to lie. I don't love this change. They say that it's designed to enhance transparency, but basically, if I put something out there and then someone disagrees with me and they can just mark it as disinformation. And without that kind of fact checking or without that kind of community-based model for also identifying hateful content to kind of underrepresented groups like LGBTQ, people of color, all that kind of stuff, you lose an aspect of people monitoring for hateful content, and it becomes a less safe space for certain populations. And I don't like that. I very much appreciated the efforts that Facebook made under the previous administration, and now I feel like they're just kind of sucking up to the current administration because they don't want to have a target on their back. So, yeah, it feels icky to me, but that's a big change. So you got to kind of self-monitor your content that you're putting out there. Make sure that, you're following all the community guidelines. We all know, and a bigger dumpster fire is obviously X. I will forever call it Twitter, RIP, because they've just had such a, God, how do I put this? They've lost so many followers in the past quarter. Literally, their followers have just whooshed off the app. And I feel like it's late and I can't think of words right now. So, Threads and Blue Sky have very much become a bigger thing. I like Threads, but I swear, my ADHD, I get really into Threads for a day and then I forget about it for a month. And I was the same way with Twitter. Lots of people who appreciate Twitter, and there's still lots of engagement over there. I think it really depends on your industry. So yeah, that's a thing. Threads, which I kind of prefer, there are so many people that are doing such great things over there on Threads and getting such great engagement. It's such a fun platform to play around with. I find that the short form platforms like that just allow you to be a little bit more train of thoughty. I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to roll with it. However, I will say Threads has monetized. There are now image-based ads in the feed. So if you don't like ads, and who really does, honestly, the first brands are now testing in the United States and Japan. You can now also search via topics. You can add those topics to your bio. And there are some opportunities for video content on Threads also. So play around with it. It's one of those things. And there are certainly social media managers that are equipped to manage Threads. But I personally probably would not manage a Threads account for a client. I would coach them on it and help them map out their content, but it requires so much more engagement. I mean, every platform requires engagement. Let's get that straight. You have to be engaged on any social media platform because that's how you get results. And social media is meant to be social, right? Communities, that's what we're building. So, but Threads especially, I'm finding you have to be so engaged. And, the content that's working best over there, God, I just saw an email and I really wish I could find it, is hot takes. Hot takes perform really well. Things that are going to instigate conversation perform really well over there. So I would say experiment. It's still such a new platform. I see so many people that are where are all my ADHD entrepreneur 40-something women looking for community? And every time I see one of those posts, I'm like, hey, it's me. Hi. Let's be friends. And then I forget about it and then I never follow up. So I'm kind of the worst. I'm a terrible example for Threads. I will not lie. But because it's still so early, organic reach is still good. They just rolled out ads, so it's still a good place to be. It is text first, not video first like Instagram. So it's perfect if you struggle to show up on video. Like, it is the perfect place, especially if you have strong messaging. It is the perfect place for you to make those connections. I hear so much about other social media managers finding all of the clients over on Threads. And I'm like, how the AH are you doing that? Like, how? But it's probably because I'm really bad at my own engagement. It's also great for building community, for building thought leadership, similar to LinkedIn, which we're going to get to next. There is less clutter than other platforms, meaning there's less like recommended posts, there's less advertising, there is less just garbage content that you don't want to see that's irrelevant to you. And Meta is investing pretty heavily in it, which means that there's a lot of algorithm favor right now. And eventually, like, there will be room for integration with Instagram Ads Manager. I just saw something this week that they're integrating. So if you're jumping the Twitter X bandwagon, soon they will be able to integrate your Twitter followers over to Threads. So it's kind of if you want to dip your toe in it, like, now is a good time. And now is a really, really good time to do that. So finally, let's chat a little bit about LinkedIn, because I know LinkedIn, a lot of my clients are very LinkedIn curious right now. You know, obviously I've managed business pages for LinkedIn. Video is growing over there. Like, no lie, it is growing 2 times faster than any other format on the platform. There is a 36% year-over-year increase in views. There is now video search added, and there is also vertical video support. So, like, it's a great opportunity, especially if you're doing like talking head reels for Instagram. It's a great place to repurpose those. They also have a big feature, and I really need to like play around more with it, is the newsletter feature. But now, if you have a newsletter, like, you should definitely be repurposing your newsletter over to LinkedIn. I'm going to do that in April with the newsletters that I send, and I'll let you know what my results are. Like, those are going to be a thing. It adds a little bit more dimension into your content, but also, like, newsletters get you a little bit more reach. LinkedIn has leaned a lot into like building trust. They have 55 million verified users. And I think verified is just kind of a fancy way for like meta verified, like you pay to play, but like you're a verified person, which has really helped combat some AI generated scams. That's a LinkedIn thing. So yeah, there's lots of opportunity over on LinkedIn. You know, if you're looking to build that thought leadership, like, just go post, man. Like, just go share your thoughts. Some of the best performing posts that I've put out have been just like me brain dumping, sharing experiences, sharing just like life experiences about me being an entrepreneur. Like, that's where you build the connections, you know? And obviously, like, there's connection building across any social media platform if you really put it out there. But like, if you're looking to build that thought leadership and get found and you have a professional audience, like, you need to be on LinkedIn. Okay, so a little sidebar. Because I'm ultimately a cat lady. I don't know when I became a cat lady, but I became a cat lady. So our cats are new, and they're kittens. Like, literally, they're like 16 weeks. They live in my office most of the time. If you have watched any of my YouTube videos, sometimes I repurpose my podcast videos into YouTube videos. You know what my office looks like. But now I have cats here. And because we didn't want to give them free reign of the house all of the time, they have free reign of the house during the day, but not at night, because these cats are so much crazier than my old cats. Like, literally, if you're watching the video, I might put this one up on YouTube. If you're watching the video, like, that bookshelf, like, they love climbing up on the bookshelf that's behind my desk. Like, if you've watched any of my social media, you know that I have a bookshelf behind my desk. It's like the backdrop. Like, I remember a couple of years ago when I like stylized it, I had a client that was like, wow, your bookshelf. So yeah, the cats are a little crazy, and the cats just, sometimes when they go to the bathroom in their box, it's a little smellier than other times. And right now I'm like recording and I'm like, huh. Anyhow, total sidebar. So I had to take a pause there to like light a candle. Anyhow, final thing. Let's talk about the takeaways from all these kind of changes. So Instagram, make your content audio optimized. Audio optimized. So play around with audio on static posts, play around with audio on carousels. Obviously, post your reels. Like, a lot of my clients were trying to do 2 reels a week for them, and that has really helped their growth. Make your content original. And I think by original, I mean, like, don't copy other people's shit. Like, just don't copy. Like, keep it yours. Like, if you're repurposing a caption, put a new picture on it. Maybe repurpose your reel and make it a carousel. Like, keep it original, but your thoughts are your thoughts, and you don't have to rethink the content wheel all of the time. So repurpose what you can, but, make it original. There are other social media managers who I know kind of repost things word for word, image for image, repeatedly, months apart, and get good results. So you do you, boo. Meta, watch that community moderation. It's coming. I don't even know what to say about that. Just watch for community moderation. People don't like you. They could accuse you of misinformation, or hate speech. We're in a very polarized time. So depending on your industry and depending on what you talk about, you got to watch out for that. As far as Threads goes, get on there early. I feel like I need to play around more on Threads and do an episode on it. I always like to test things out myself before I really say oh, I'm comfortable talking about this. But I did some research here and I have been playing around on Threads, just not consistently. But get on there early, claim your voice, be consistent, and think of it kind of as your microblog strategy. Threads is now what Twitter was back in 2007, 2008, 2009. That's that. Finally, LinkedIn, double down on video, especially if you're in B2B or thought leadership space. Test out the newsletters. They've got lots of ways to get your content out there. So play around on LinkedIn, but definitely video is where it's at. I really like authentic photos over there. I have clients that they love collages and making things pretty, but the photos that always do the best are just the photo dumps. I kind of hate that term, but hey, we went to this event. Here's 20 pictures of that event. Those ones always seem to do a little bit better because they're a little bit more authentic. And thought leadership or not, people still want authenticity. Anyhow, sorry for my cat rants today. I hope this is helpful. If it is, leave a review. Follow the podcast. If you're listening to us for the first time, go check out almost 52 episodes. I think this is 52, maybe 51. I don't know. I've lost count, but we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary and that's exciting. And I very much appreciate everyone who has listened to all of the episodes, whether you came in last April or whether you came in last week. I very much appreciate all of you listeners. And be sure to leave a review, subscribe, and connect with me on Instagram and tell me what platform you're most excited about in 2025 and where you're spending your time on social so that we can stay connected. As always, if you would like to work together, you can always check out my website, www.heidijschmidt.com. We are launching later this month a group consulting program. It's kind of like a group marketing coaching program to really kind of get your social media strategy and your content pillars and your video marketing and all that kind of fun stuff into order. If you need some extra support and just want to understand how to do it better, it's a 12 or 16 week coaching program. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 months that I decided on, but it comes with a 90-minute strategy session with me. It comes with 3 or 4 one-on-one 45-minute coaching calls to review your content, all that kind of fun stuff, and 2 or 3 monthly kind of workshops and, hot seats where we can chat about your marketing and how things are going and all that fun stuff. So it's kind of like a little bit of a masterclass. I'm kind of excited about it. I really think it's going to be fantastic, especially for people who really want to do their marketing better, but just don't know how and they can't really invest in outsourcing it. So if you're interested, please shoot me an email. My email is linked in the show notes, and I can give you details. We're kicking off the first week of May, and I am out of town for 1 week in April. So if you would like to set up a call with me to discuss this more, feel free to do so. I've got some time on the calendar. Or drop me an email, and I'll share the details. Until next time, go forth, pick your platform, and create amazing content that stops the scroll. Can't wait to talk next week.